Hello, my name is Bonnie Nolan. My background is in addiction. I have a doctorate in neuroscience from Rutgers University. I'm a licensed clinical alcohol and drug counselor, and I've worked for the past decade or so in treatment for people with addiction to opioids, alcohol, and other drugs. I wanted to take this course with InFact because I recognize that there's this burgeoning health crisis in the US with food addiction and obesity. Apparently, it's worldwide now. And I saw this course, and it's the only certified course in food addiction being offered and recognized by the state I live in, which is the state of New Jersey. So I wanted to take the course, and I was very interested in the material. So taking the course with Esther Helga has been just such a boon to my education in general. I had always sort of thought that there were common links between alcohol addiction, opioid addiction, methamphetamine, all of the different addictions, behavior addictions. But it really sort of brought home to me both what addiction is about, the importance of abstinence programs and structure, but also how much in common there is. I hadn't prior to this, I hadn't met anybody who I knew was addicted to food. Um, I've said to friends and colleagues, learning in this environment, I have learned that food addiction is every bit as traumatic and heartbreaking and dramatic as any other addiction. I think a lot of times, we tend to think of opioid addiction or alcohol addiction as a sort of, more serious or more, consuming addiction. In fact, the stories that I heard at the InFact school were just gut wrenching. And it really, before I took the course, I believed there was a need. But once I took the course, I was convinced that there is absolutely a need. And so many people I know are struggling with this. And even people who have beat addiction to opioids or alcohol are struggling with food addiction. So I learned so much about it. We discussed so many things, things that are specific to addiction treatment, like cognitive behavioral therapy, rational emotive behavioral therapy, motivational interviewing, all kinds of really substantive, important, evidence-based topics for addiction treatment, but also specialized in food addiction. Spoke to specialists in food addiction. Dr. Lustig was an incredible speaker among numerous other speakers, Nicole Dina, lots of other great speakers, and I just really took so much out of it. Ultimately, what I would like to do after having completed this program, what I intend to do is to create a center that specializes in addiction, period, all addiction. We can really begin to replace addictive behaviors, destructive addictive behaviors, with coping skills that people are missing, that people, sort of circumvented in their early childhood very often to develop addictive behaviors. So now we can sort of replace those behaviors and offer a life that is truly happy, joyous, and free from addiction, not just one addiction, but all addictions. So you don't necessarily go from being addicted to alcohol to being addicted to food, or being a food to being addicted to alcohol. We actually begin to really address the behaviors that are, common to all of those addictions, and teach people how to, really begin to have a life that's free of addiction. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm very excited about that. And I would not have even thought of this without the InFact training. So I'm very grateful for that.